Today I want to tell you a story about a mandamus lawsuit that I was involved with recently. And the reason that I want to share this with you is not to brag about my own victory. It's to give you hope and to inspire you and to give you a little more background into how these lawsuits actually work. So my client in this case was a guy from Wisconsin who is an American citizen, and he's from Sudan. And by the way, if you don't know me, my name's Josh Goldstein. I'm an immigration lawyer, and I help people and families across the country and around the world get their visas out of administrative processing. Anyway, the guy came to me, gave me a call, and he explained to me that his wife was stuck in Sudan, in Khartoum, and that he, as a U.S. citizen, had applied for his wife. He had petitioned for her. The case had gone through USCIS. The petition had gotten approved. Everything was going fine, and then the case ended up getting an interview at the U.S. consulate in Sudan, in Khartoum, and at that interview, they told his wife that they couldn't approve her, and they refused to issue the visa, and they gave her the slip that says 221G administrative processing. For 18 months, she remained stuck in administrative processing. He tried everything he could. He contacted his congressional representative, and the congressman made inquiries on his behalf. He wrote letters and sent emails to the consulate asking them what was going on and for status updates and so on. But he never could get any meaningful information about the case whatsoever. And when he came to me, he'd reached the point of incredible frustration. He was so frustrated that he was thinking, in fact, of leaving the United States, of just moving and leaving so that he could be with his wife. Not only was his wife stuck in Sudan, but he had a young son who was a U.S. citizen at birth, but the son was with his mother. So his son and his wife were stuck in Sudan. But it gets even worse because his wife was expecting a child. So he and his wife were going to have a child together, a second boy, and all three of them were going to be stuck in Sudan while he was back in the U.S. and working. I'm a new father myself. I have a 4.5-year-old and a 2-year-old. And I don't even like going to work during the day, to being away from my kids during the day. That's how attached I am to my children. And the notion that his wife was stuck in his home country because of this administrative processing delay, it really ate at me, and it got me, I got just as mad and frustrated as he was. And I begged him to hire me. I begged him. I called him or texted him probably 3 or 4 times a week for a month or more. He probably thought I was crazy, I think, because I was so persistent. I just wouldn't let him not hire me. And the reason is not that I am super great at salesmanship or anything like that. It's that I knew that I could help him. I absolutely was certain that I could help him. The only obstacle was that I had so much trouble persuading him to actually go forward and file the lawsuit. He was scared. He didn't want to sue the government. He was incredibly grateful to the U.S. government for giving him a chance to live in the United States. The last thing in the world that he wanted to do was to sue the government. And he also was very afraid of any possible retaliation. He's from Sudan, and I understand that in Sudan, and maybe that's the same in your country, if you have a legal problem, the solution to that problem is not to sue the government. If you're back in Sudan and you sue the government, they might lock you up. Who knows? It would be crazy. Nobody would think that that was the right thing to do. And he was afraid that if he sued the consulate would deny his wife. The consulate would, he even asked me, like, will I be able to fly in an airplane after I file the lawsuit? Or he said, would it be a good idea for me to file the lawsuit and then wait in a different country while the lawsuit is pending? He was so frightened about this. And I tried as hard as I could to reassure him and tell him that this was the solution to his problem, that he had to file a lawsuit, a mandamus lawsuit. And once he did that, the administrative processing delay would just melt away. Another fear that he had was that anytime you hire a lawyer or you file a lawsuit, the outcome is unknowable. I couldn't guarantee him that it would be approved. I couldn't guarantee him that if it were approved, that it would be processed within a certain period of time. I told him that most of the people who hire me get their visas, and most of the time it happens in 6 to 12 weeks. Those were just estimates, and they weren't guarantees. And so there was this uncertainty, and it ate away at him. But at the same time, he knew that if he didn't take action, and he didn't hire me, and he didn't file the mandamus lawsuit, he knew that his wife would stay stuck in administrative processing indefinitely. So, at the end of 2019, something happened, he finally broke, and he said, let's do it. I'll take a chance. I'm willing to go forward. So he hired me. He paid me. He signed my representation agreement. He hired me to do this job. This was Christmas week. I was on vacation. I stopped what I was doing. I came into the office, and I got his lawsuit filed the day before Christmas Eve, December 23rd, I filed it. And we sued the consulate in Khartoum. We sued the State Department. We sued USCIS. We sued all the different agencies that had touched his case on behalf of him and his wife. And we fought against the administrative processing delay. 23 days after we filed the lawsuit, he contacted me. The administrative processing was complete, and they asked his wife to do another medical exam. So the delay was over in a matter of days. He had been delayed for years, and I was able to resolve the delay with a mandamus lawsuit in less than 1 month. I'm really proud of the work that I did, and I'm happy and grateful for the chance to help this good man and his family. And he wrote me a wonderful review where he shared his story, so you can read it, and it's on my Google My Business account. I can share that with you also. And he talks about how the challenges that he had and what he had to do to get up the nerve to hire me. And then he talks about the experience that he had once he did hire me. And he tells you what this was like. He confirms that the story I'm telling is true. And so what you need to know is if you or someone you know or love is stuck in administrative processing, there is recourse. There is a solution to your problem. It involves suing the consulate. This is what I do. This is how I help people. If you have questions, let me know or get in touch with me, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.